Breaking news this morning, Billings police are searching for two suspects that broke into the city evidence barn. Police were called out to the building near Midland Road and South Billings Boulevard around 2:15 this morning. Sergeant Shane Sheldon with the Billings Police Department says a large area surrounding the building was blocked off for public safety. With numerous weapons located inside the building, officers used caution entering. Once they were in the building, they discovered the suspects were gone. A description of the suspects was not given out. About a 1-mile stretch of Midland Road was closed for about 2.5 hours this morning. We'll update you as soon as we learn more. On to national headlines. Today, the White House is expected to announce the date and location of President Trump's upcoming summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin. National Security Advisor John Bolton was in Moscow yesterday, laying the groundwork for the meeting. President Trump told reporters he wanted to discuss the conflict in Syria, Russian military intervention in Ukraine, and many other subjects. Rumors are swirling in Montana that President Trump is planning a visit to the Big Sky State. Sources say the top two locations for a Trump rally would be Great Falls or Billings, possibly within the next 2 weeks. We'll keep you posted. And also making this morning's headlines, the biggest announcement from the Supreme Court this week did not have to do with the travel ban or unions. Instead, it was the retirement of Justice Anthony Kennedy. President Trump plans on filling the vacancy as soon as possible, but as CBS's Laura Podesta reports, Democrats will try to take a page out of the Republican playbook and delay the appointment.
The retirement of Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy has given President Trump an opportunity to reshape the nation's highest court.
We have to pick a great one. We have to pick one that's going to be there for 40 years, 45 years.
The vacancy gives the president a chance to turn the court more solidly conservative. At a rally in North Dakota last night, Mr. Trump said he was honored the 81-year-old justice chose to retire while he's in office.
Because he felt confident in me to make the right choice and carry on his great legacy.
Nominated by President Reagan in 1987, Kennedy was the key swing vote in decisive 5-4 rulings. He sided with conservatives on gun rights and Citizens United, and with liberals on gay marriage and Roe v. Wade.
We will vote to confirm Justice Kennedy's successor this fall.
Senate Republicans successfully blocked President Obama's nominee for an open seat before the 2016 election. Democrats say this appointment should wait until after the midterms.
Anything but that would be the absolute height of hypocrisy.
The Senate confirmation of Kennedy's replacement could hinge on Senators Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins, two Republicans who support abortion rights.
I view Roe v. Wade as being settled law.
President Trump says he will nominate Kennedy's successor from a list of about 24 people. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Kennedy's retirement takes effect July 31st. In other news, U.S. Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke was in Billings to announce Montana is getting $40.1 million in PILT funds.
The federal government should be a partner. It should be a good neighbor. But we should have a trusting relationship that together better decisions are made when the local community's voice is heard.
PILT stands for Payment in Lieu of Taxes, and the funds will be divided up among 55 of Montana's counties. The money helps offset losses in property taxes due to non-taxable federal lands. Nearly 30% of Montana is made up of PILT-entitled federal lands. Local governments can use the money for essential services like road maintenance and public land access. This year, the PILT program is doling out a record $530 million to the states. Montana Senator John Tester, the ranking member of the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee, posed questions and had some harsh words during Wednesday's confirmation hearing for new VA Secretary nominee Robert Wilkie.
My only advice to you is to take the cues from the veterans, the folks that are sitting in this audience, and do what you think is right, even if political forces threaten your job, because I want you to succeed. I really want you to succeed. And I think the veterans across this country, in fact, I know the veterans across this country want you to succeed too. This post requires courage, honesty, integrity, and a vision for the future. Leading this nation's largest healthcare system is no small task, and it demands the very best.
President Trump fired VA Secretary David Shulkin last March. His earlier pick for the position, Ronnie Jackson, withdrew from consideration after on-the-job misconduct allegations. From Helena, a group of Republican state lawmakers formally asked their colleagues to call a special session of the legislature next month. Some GOP lawmakers say they want to consider proposals that could undercut a pair of voter initiatives likely to be on the ballot this fall on mining and tobacco taxes. If Republicans can agree, they would place a pair of competing referenda on the ballot this November or in a special election next January. A poll of all 150 legislators went out late Wednesday on whether to call themselves into special session starting July 16th. Republicans control 91 seats at the legislature and need the votes of only 76 lawmakers to call the session. But not all Republican lawmakers are on board. House Speaker Austin Knudsen sent an email to fellow Republicans earlier this week saying the special session will be politically ugly for the GOP. Democratic Governor Steve Bullock's office also denounced the idea as absurd. Republicans say they're concerned about the negative effects of I-186, which would tighten regulations on hard rock mining, and I-185, which would hike tobacco taxes and extend Medicaid coverage for low-income, able-bodied adults. Both measures are expected to be on the ballot this fall. On Wednesday, a ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court on union agency fees is considered a major blow to labor unions that represent public employees. MTM chief political reporter Mike Dennison reports on the potential impact of that decision here in Montana.
The biggest and most influential labor union in Montana represents teachers and state and local government workers, the 25,000-member Montana Federation of Public Employees. Its president, Eric Fever, says Wednesday's Supreme Court ruling is definitely a slap upside the face for public sector unions. But he doesn't believe it will cost his union much in money or membership, or silence its voice.
In losing their revenue, so to speak, we have not lost our capacity to be engaged in political action. We're going to continue to speak out on the issues we think are important and support the candidates who we think are good for public employees and the work we do and public programs and services.
The High Court said public sector unions can no longer require non-members covered by a negotiated contract to pay an agency fee to support the union's work. Those fees already do not pay for the union's involvement in campaigns. But the head of a free market think tank in Montana says that money has helped pay for union efforts that can be seen as political.
The act of collectively bargaining for a 2% pay raise for all public unions necessarily means diverting resources away from other public programs or increasing taxes. And that's a highly political decision.
Meade says Wednesday's ruling gives public employees the right not to pay to support union actions they oppose.
Of course, all of those employees are still free to join the union. It's only for those workers that don't want to subsidize that speech with their paycheck.
Fever says only about 2,000 public sector workers pay agency fees to his union.
We are not out of business because we have lost this revenue stream.
Oddly enough, Fever and Meade agree on one point. The ruling probably won't have a big impact on union membership in Montana because of our strong labor history. But they say that public sector unions like this one may have to work a bit harder now to recruit and maintain their members. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
The agency fees for MFPE non-members represents about 75% of full union membership dues. Back here in Billings, the woman whose vehicle and garage were destroyed by a rock slide below the rims says the rocks coming down sounded like a freight train. Sherry Lee says when the rocks came tumbling down onto the Mountain View Boulevard Tuesday night, she knew exactly what it was the moment she heard it.
Immediately after the boulders stopped, the fire department were there, Northwest Energy was there, we had power lines down, they got the power lines secured. My next door neighbor and I don't have power, but everybody else has power. We've got water and everything, but both my neighbor and I are both stuck as far as the vehicles because we can't get out on the road. Hopefully the city will be able to move the boulders pretty soon, but they're pretty large boulders, so it might take a while.
Lee operates Res Dog Rescue. The SUV that was crushed is the one she uses to transport the rescue dogs. An online fundraiser has already raised more than $7,000 to help her out. City engineers tell us they're monitoring several areas for potential instability and say it is possible for more rocks to come down. Citizens are asked to avoid that area. Before we take a break, some four-legged friends made their way back to Malmstrom Air Force Base for the second year in a row. The first round of goats was dropped off earlier this month, and on Wednesday, 150 kid and nanny goats joined the others. There are now 450 goats working to reduce invasive weed species in the underdeveloped areas of the base. After a test run 2 years ago, it took another year and a half to plan the project. The 3-year project officially started last summer, and they will be working for the next 6 weeks. The invasive weeds can take over huge areas since they are not consumed by any native animals.
Many of these plants have no forage value for livestock beyond goats or for wildlife, so you don't see deer or elk grazing these plant species, and they can become quite invasive and take over acres and acres if they're not managed in some level.
The goats will not only eat the weeds on base, they are also helping reduce potential fire hazards. Stick with us here on Montana This Morning. Still ahead, the moments officers find a missing toddler wandering in the woods is caught on camera. We'll tell you how she got there. It's 62 degrees in downtown Billings and the time is 6:14. Stick around.
You're watching MTN News with Victoria Hill and Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh. This is Montana This Morning on Q2, Montana's news leader.